How do you feel when you come home and you're walking into your house? The first place that greets you is your entryway, and it's looking all juggled up, all tacky, all cluttered. Whether you like it or not, bare walls feels unfinished and cheap. Hi guys, welcome to another video. It's been a while we did this because of all the review we've been doing, but I decided to take a break from the review so we can have this, one-to-one chats. You guys know that I love making this kind of content. Anyway, in today's video, we will be hitting on 5 reasons why your entryway looks cheap. I'm going to use the word cheap because, again, we want to attain the luxurious feel, right? Whether on a budget or not, we want to walk into our entryway and have that luxurious vibe. Sorry, some people might not find it funny, but it is what it is. So 5 reasons why your entryway looks cheap. Okay, if this is the kind of content you want to watch, please go ahead to smash that like button and subscribe, and let's enjoy this video. Your entryway is the very first impression of your home, but are you unknowingly making it look cheap? Now, this video is going to answer that question for you. I'm going to be revealing 10 common entryway mistakes, but for the purpose of this video, I'm going to keep it very short and reveal 5. So if you want to see the remaining 5, please wait for the next video and you will see the rest of the 5. So do not miss the part 1 and the part 2. And there is more where this came from, so let me know if you guys want a part 3 and a part 4. But for now, let's just leave it at part 1 and 2. I'm going to start with clutter everywhere. Now, when you walk into an entryway and you see a lot of clutter lying around, I know that some people love to hang their coats in the entryway. I know that some people like to have shoe rack in the entryway. I know that some people just want to have their key hangers in the entryway. Now, these are the things that make your entryway look cheap. I'm going to tell you how you're going to fix this. For the coats, I would suggest you take them somewhere else, or if you have a cloakroom, you can have a hanger above your door where you just hang the hanger and you can hang your coat inside the cloakroom. It is even better that it's in the cloakroom than being displayed. That is if you do not have the budget for a hidden storage. There are so many ways you can hang your coats. You can have on the stairs. If you have the understairs, you can have this. You can just visit any of the shops to buy the coat hangers. Nail the coat hangers under your stairs and hang your coats in there. Or if you have a connecting door to your garage like we do in our house, get a coat hanger and install it just by the door inside the garage so that it's very, very reachable for whoever needs to just grab their coat and step out. Now, when it comes to shoe rack, I would say go for something very aesthetic. If you have the space, you can buy all the shoe racks that you see they sell in IKEA. That way, you get it hung on the wall, like installed on the wall. Don't do the open shoe rack style. Open shoe racks are not meant to be in the entryway because when people walk in, they just see your shoes lying on the rack. Nobody cares if it's shoe rack or not. It just makes the place look cluttered and very untidy. So bear in mind that an untidy space can never look luxurious. So when you lie all these clutters around, then it's going to be a problem. For your keys as well, if you notice how we style clients' houses, we try to introduce functionality into the space. So we go as far as getting key boxes. I mean, for me, it's a common thing. Every client must get a key box. I don't really care if you use it or not, but in my head, I just feel like even if you don't have a console in the entryway, somewhere in your living room, anywhere, there must be a key box where you have to put your keys. Keep them collected instead of just hanging them in display. So displaying these things just make the place feel cluttered. So I hope this will help you fix the idea of having coat hangers, shoe racks and key hangers in your entryway. Please, we can do better. Okay, my next point will be bad lighting. A single dim bulb makes the place feel uninviting and dull, so you have to layer your lighting. Now, I'm trying to tell you how to fix it. Layer your lighting, either introduce wall lights, apart from the main chandelier or the main light, introduce wall light, introduce table lamps if you have the console or any sideboard or whatever if you have the space, introduce even floor lamps if you have the space. Now, because we know how most UK houses can be, I would just advise wall lights. But if you are in America or you're in Nigeria and you have the space, then get a console, get a sideboard or anything and put a table lamp on top. And maybe a table lamp and a wall light. You can never have too many lighting. Layering your lighting in your entryway will actually make it feel luxurious and high-end. Bare walls. Bare walls. I hear it. You don't really care to have things on your walls. You just want to have one tiny piece and that's it. I get it. But whether you like it or not, bare walls feels unfinished and cheap. When you have bare walls, it just screams, I'm unfinished, I'm cheap. I don't have the money to do something. Now, this is where the wall lighting comes in. If you feel like you don't want to go with pieces, like large pieces on your entryway, or you just want to keep it very minimal, maybe wall lighting will do. So you just have wall lighting there. You don't necessarily need to have frames and all that. But if you're not a minimalist person, please introduce frames, introduce mirrors, introduce, like if you have the wall, if you have the space, introduce all these pieces to make your space feel finished and luxurious. Okay, so do not think that bare wall is always the way. No, I get it that some people are very minimalist, but there's a way you can tie in minimalism and making sure that your place feels expensive. If you don't want frames, please do wall lights. Okay, or mirrors. They're very beautiful minimalist mirrors out there. You don't necessarily need to go bold with the mirrors. You can just do minimalist mirrors. It will look really finished and luxurious. If you're enjoying this video, please do us a favor by hitting that like button, sharing to whoever you think might need this in their lives. Okay, now let's get to the next point. Mismatch of styles. I get it that some people or most of you are not interior designers, so you might not really understand the importance of making sure that your house flows from the entryway. If you have been watching some of our reviews, you would see that whatever design style we choose for that property, whatever color theme we have chosen for that property, we start from the entryway to make that statement. You don't just come into the entryway and it feels like a different house when you walk into the living room or the bedroom. So one way or the other, we try to bring in one element from the other part of the house into the entryway. The entryway is what speaks to people before they even get to your living room, before they even get to your bedroom, if they will ever get to your bedroom. So your entryway has to speak the style of the home. You don't just represent one different style in your entryway and then when you get into your bedroom, you're seeing a different style in your living room. So I would say that it's important for you to make sure that in everything you do in the major part of the house, you introduce one element or two for the major part of the house into the entryway. And if you are sticking with a modern design, please make sure your entryway depicts a modern design. Let's not see traditional in the entryway because you've gotten all the traditional pieces or maybe pieces you got from charity and you just put them all together in the entryway and then we're entering your living room and we're seeing all sorts of modern designs and modern pieces and all that because that's where you decide to invest money into. No, I mean, you can marry them properly. Maybe you take one of the traditional piece or one of the antique piece and distribute to other parts of the house just so that we know that, okay, this is a style you're going for and you have represented that in the entryway. Your entryway is the focal point of the main house, if that makes sense. So please, in summary, what I'm saying is pick a consistent design style or palette and stick to it across your house from the entryway. Now, I've seen some entryways that when you walk in, you see one tiny faded runner in front or even doormats. Why? Why do you have to do that? Do you know that rather than have that, I would not even have a runner at all? If you feel like it's faded, please take it out. Take it out. You don't have to have a runner. I know that a runner is one of the key things to have in an entryway, but if the entryway is small, I'd rather not even have it. Do you understand? So if an entryway is quite small, I'd rather not have it. And then I see some people want to have the runner, they they pick a very small runner and place it in the middle of the entryway. It just looks tacky. Make sure that the size of the runner is proportional to the space, and make sure that your runner is not worn out, please. So use a quality runner or textured rug that fits the scale of the space. Now I'm going to give you one final tip to round up this video. Do not ignore your entryway. I know that this video is for those that are keen about styling their entryway, but at the same time I want to also pass this message on, because we often get clients that say, oh, I'm more interested in my living room and my bedroom. I don't really care about the entryway. No. So I personally have made it a point of duty that if I'm not styling your entryway, if I'm styling your living room, I'm not going to do that project. Your entryway is the focal point of your house. You can't have your living room properly styled up, furnished, and your entryway looks tacky when you have guests walking in. In fact, even for you living in the property, let's start from you living in the house. How do you feel when you come home and you're walking into your house? The first place I greet you is your entryway, and it's looking all juggled up, all tacky, all cluttered. And then you move into your living room, it's looking well furnished and styled and all that. No, just, does it not mess with your brain? Does it not mess with your mental state? Because I personally, when I come home and my entryway is looking messy, and the first thing I start saying, oh yeah, get Hoover, get Hoover. Why is this place like this? Because it's just my first impression when I get home. In fact, the state of my entryway, mentally, it tells me the state of the rest of the house, if that makes sense. So if we are not styling your entryway, then we will definitely style up your living room. So please make your entryway an important part of your house. As much as you're styling your living room, style up your entryway. I always tell people that you can make it budget friendly. You don't have to break the bank. So we can always include the entryway with the living room. But then again, it doesn't have to be a major space where you spend a lot of money. But at least if it looks clutter-free, well styled, even if it's just more affordable pieces, and then the other part of the house, you can splurge on them. But then you have to work on your entryway to make it look the part. I hope with this few points of mine, I've been able to convince you and not confuse you that your entryway is an important part of your house. And I've also been able to tell you few reasons why your entryway looks cheap and how to fix them. Please, if I have done that, hit that like button and subscribe, and I will see you guys in part 2. Stay fabulous. Bye.